Next year, right?
Okay. The boy side we're holding in Chulin Daf Kuf Yud Aleph. We're a few lines down in the Mud Aleph. We got to where it says Rav Bar Shvo. That's what we got to. Rav Bar Shvo. It's the end of the line. Kuf Yud Aleph from Mud Aleph, about a third down in the line on Mud Aleph. And we got the following. Rav Bar Shvo Iklo Lebi Rav Nachman came to the house of Rav Nachman. Aisule Kavdo. He gave him a liver. Shliko, meaning a cooked liver. He didn't want to eat it. Omurlei, so they said, they told Rav Nachman, Bar Beirav, referring to Rav Bar Shvo, the legav lo yochid. He's not eating. Umadu Rav Bar Shvo. Kuyudalef. They said he's not eating. Meaning, they told him, it's like you're telling the mother, the kid's not eating. Omelu Rav Nachman, Gamu L'Shvo. You have to feed him, force feed him the liver. Why is he not eating the liver? Says the Gemara, Ketanoi. As we saw in yesterday's daf, the kovid causes other meats to be usher. Mipnei shepurletis veinabulas. In other words, it only spits out what's in it, and it causes other meats to be usher. But the itself doesn't become usher. If it has spices, it does swallow and makes it softer as well. And also, shluko if it was cooked, it's also v'neseres. So in Meile, they have there's a machlekes. Rabbi Muno iklo lebei Rabbi Nachman. There's another sheet in the Rishonim here. We read the Gemara. The Vilna going has different gears over here, but it says Aisle kamet lat siuye tachoy, meaning they gave him 3 seo of a cleaned bread, which had on it, it's tachoy, means tach with oil and honey. Omer lehu, how did you know I'm going to come here that you prepare for me such a beautiful meal? Omer are you greater than it, which is the chtiv, the Kras Shabbos Seidik? As Rashi points out, away, it was Shabbos. So he comes and he sees a very special, delicious food. So he says, you did it for me? He says, no, we did it for Shabbos. As is, dealing over there, he finds a liver. The alvabo simfoino. Simfoino means it has these tubes in it. The belio dam, it's full of blood. Why do you have here this liver with the blood? What should we do? That's the liver. We should tear it open and allow and make the cut in the bottom so the blood will spill down. That's only the liver that has blood in it. Meaning the spleen, it's not really blood. Okay, now here the question is, this shita that we just mentioned, that the blood you have to take out of the liver, is that another shita that I fit to the shitas before? Is that the Goren brings based on the Rif, that's a third shita over here. If we had shitas before, do you say that if the blood is nothing, or the blood is a problem when it comes out? And this shita holds that the blood is even when it's inside. Similar to the tachli, they gave him, we just mentioned the spleen. They gave him a tafshil made of spleen, milso, the day that he took a blood. So even though there's blood, they drew blood from his own body, so there's no issue of blood in the spleen. Says the Gemara, okay, so that was the discussion that we ended the sugi of yesterday regarding a liver. And as Taiz mentioned, and I think Dr. Rozorski mentioned it yesterday, but Taiz brings it over here. So what do we do? Minig b'chol Yisrael, that's the Lashon Taiz previous Amud, Shaloi levash shel kavod, we don't cook liver. Afilu achar melicha b'loitzle. You don't cook liver, you just roast liver. Something more itmar kavdo ilui bisho. If you have liver above the meat, in what case in the oven and you're roasting it above the meat. It's as if you have, in the higher section, you have the liver, and the lower section, you have the meat. So the din is shori. It's mutter. Why? Damo mishrak shorik. The blood, mishrak means it's like
slides off.
Slides off. It slides, it goes out. It's like it does not absorb. Because it's roast, as Rashi says. If I put a udder over the meat, and now you have milk coming out of it, also, my time of cholif seruchim misrach. The cholif doesn't easily fall off; it actually gets stuck to the meat. So now you have meat with milk. It says the opposite. If I have the udder in the meat, shori. My time of cholif shchuto derabbanan. Once you shechted the animal, any milk that you have there, it's only in the derabbanan. They're not allowed to eat it with milk, with meat. When the animal is alive, so the milk is also. But when you shecht the animal, it's only derabbanan.
Why is it not at least also derabbanan? It's not.
So because it's only a derabbanan, so I'm not machmir when you have it sli and it's like just spilling off. So yeah, maybe a little bit gets stuck.
So the issur derabbanan does not apply in this case.
Yeah. Issur derabbanan is only when you actually have the milk itself. If I have liver over the meat, also. So he's not dealing so much with the characteristics of the blood and the milk, but what's the issur come from? Ben kavdo, liver, ben kachlo, the spleen, tusi basur shori, underneath the meat is okay because nothing's spilling from the liver or, I said spleen, the udder. Beneath shori. Ilui bisur above the meat, the evet in lechatchila. The evet is okay, but don't put lechatchila on top. Ravashi equal to Beirayim Rachamo Chamuo. Ravashi comes to the house of Abba, his shver, his father-in-law. Chazia Librei de Rayim Baramo. He sees the son of Rayim Barabo. Who's that for him?
Brother-in-law.
Brother-in-law. So, ready then, brother-in-law. What did he see that the brother is doing? He says, this is what they call the Kuvidav on base, the Kashapti Kavdo Ilui Bisro. He's putting in a spit the liver above the meat. Omar Kama Yoyer Haimer Abon. What a he feels so comfortable in himself, this guy. He's a bad guy, he feels too comfortable with himself. So right at the end there was some rivalry between the brothers-in-law. What does the brother think to himself? Vihika Beidugi Bistro. If you Beidugi, what's a Beidugi? Beidugi means that there is a receptacle to receive the fat that comes from the meat. They don't let it just spill down. There's something that holds it in, and it's next to the meat. So you have a Beidugi, Bistro Likar Denami Osir. Even if the meat is above the liver is Osir. Why? Why is it Osir? Because the blood of the liver goes into the Beidugi, and he's going to eat it. It's going to mix it. It doesn't just spill off. What about the meat of the meat? What does it mean? When you have blood of any other part of the body of the animal, it goes down. So if I have oil and I have blood, the blood is in the bottom and the oil is on the top. Oil means the fat. So I eat the fat, and when I get to the bottom of this liquid, they call this pool, I have some red. I'm not going to eat the red, so I won't eat the blood. But the blood of a liver floats. So that's the top part. So if you're eating that part of the fat that falls into the skli, you'll come to eat the meat. And you come to eat the blood of the liver. You took a knife and you shecht. This we saw already in the beginning of the Masechta. That when you shechting, base hashchita is risech. So when you're shechting, the knife is absorbing the meat. So now you can now go and cut with it something else because you're going to come because it's absorbing the meat, the blood of the meat. So now if you cut with something else, the blood will go into something else. So what about cold? You can cut with it. Question is, can you have to wash it afterwards or not? If you salted meat in a kara, and so that means the salt heated up, as we'll see in a moment, the blood. So you're not allowed to eat with the other things because they're going to eat with the blood. Shmuel goes to Shitasa. Salting is like boiling. So as if you have boiling meat over here. The kavusha when it's pickled is like as if it's cooked. Disagree. Salt is not considered to be hot. The kavush when it's pickled ain't a kavush. Disagrees. We disagree with this concept of Rabin. There was this small dish made out of clay in the house of Rami. The Malach Bebisro, he salted me there, and he broke it. Why? Why? Because he holds the salting is like heating it up, and you heated blood over here. Why did he break it? Because you heard that salting is like boiling. So immediately, if that's the case, so we have a din of that it's usher. So you see, Rabbi Yochanan said that. So what Rabbi said, Rabbi Yochanan is incorrect. Now, this is interesting thing. Stam in halacha, how much do we treat salted like reteach? Basar v'cholav v'tarubus, we hold it's salt is like reteach. What about Shabbos? You hold salt Shabbos? Is it a problem of heating, or that's not to that extent? Perhaps with Shabbos, we don't say maliach harik reteach. Okay, there's other things.
Yeah, the food's cooked during the Shabbos. It's not like it's really...
No, what else if you have, because it's not cooked, and you salt it.
There's a minute by some certain things not to salt.
Yeah, so not because it's because of ibud boichos. There's something else. Not because of okay.
Because of what?
Ibud means processing. Not allowed to process it.
No, but not just processing. Like I know there's a minute, but not to have salt radishes. And not to.
Oh. Okay. Yosef.
Hungarians need radishes.
No, they do, but
Yosef Kana Chud Rav Yudo Kameda Avuno Rav Kana, the brother of Yudo, is sitting in front of Kuno. Yosef Ikama, he comes and says, Kiara Shemalach Babasar, if you salted the meat, Sulach Olav Reteach. Why? Because it's considered to be heated. V'tznoy Shechot Choy Besakin, if you cut a radish with a knife, Muto Lechol B'Choysach, you're allowed to put it into milk. Meaning the radish was cold. So I don't say that so even though, as Rashi says, even though the radish has like bitterness to it, you say it's not a problem. Why? My time. The radish swallowed heter. There's no heter here. It's meat. Just the meat went into the radish. So and then you're going to mix it with milk. I have less of a problem. Mashenkin, when I'm thinking about the salting, which is blood is the answer. Now we're going to see in a moment. We'll get back to this. What do you mean heter boil? Well, but now after he was boiling heter, we have a problem. It's boiling meat, but now you're putting it into milk. So that's the really one is asking right away. Only Rova kibol heter my avis. So I heter also the yisuro. The yisur kachil. I mean, I know he swallowed heter meat, but once you mix the meat with the milk, you have a problem. Hello, my Rabbi. Meaning it's very easy. When I have a radish, just taste it. If it has a taste of meat, don't put it into milk. It doesn't have taste of meat. You put it into milk. Meaning I can figure the idea of a nois and tam, I figure based on taste.
How do you get a taste of meat? From the sucking?
Yeah. You can taste it, no issue. That's what it means heter. Mashenkin, if it's salted with blood, I can't taste it. Because the blood I'll eat. I'm not probably the rubber, why can you give the blood for a guy to eat? Kfei means a professional. Did we learn earlier in the Masechet if you use it for meat, you can't use it for milk. If you did use it, you go with noisatam, meaning if there's a taste. Use a kli for truma, don't put chulin to it. That's what we saw before. I know what to do, give it to a kohen to taste it. Who's going to taste in the basa v'chalav? Meaning the goy. So what's the problem? Give it to a goy. He says, you're right. Tefillah could taste it. And this goes back to the Sugis Lahel. You could give it to a goy to taste, but you don't have no goy. We paskin la halacha, the Rama paskins, so we don't rely on a goy today. Today we don't rely on te'ima at all. Not bad, not beiser. For us, we always go by shishim. But earlier we saw there's three ways to vat leiser. So the batayma, or b'shishim, or b'kfeilo. So it's one of the ways to go and see if there's a taste to it. Okay, now the Gemara goes back to the fact that the fact of eter, we have another nekuda. So let's see. Itmar. Now this we're going to learn right now. This is a very, very important sugya. And Hilchos Ta'aruvos, very important, very negel ma'aseh, very much into the inyanim. This is called, we're going to learn right now, the sugya of not by not. What does not by not mean? Noiset tam by noiset tam. A noiset tam, the son of a noiset tam. What does it mean? So regular noiset tam, we know what it is. Regular noiset tam means I have meat and I put it into milk. Noiset tam. Noiset tam by noiset tam means that the meat doesn't go directly into the milk. It goes into something else and then it goes into the milk. Let's see the Gemara. Classic case of the Gemara. So Gemara Itvar. Dogim she'olu b'kyara. Fish was in a kyara, mean a meat kyara. So the fish absorbed from the kyara the taste of the meat. Rav Omar asul lo yachol mekoisach. You can't eat it with milk. Koisach means is a dish made with milk. Shmuel Omar mutar lo yachol mekoisach. You could eat with milk. What's that? Rav Omar asul noisetam. The mice, I have taste of the meat that was in the plate that went into the fish. And now the fish goes into the milk. I'm connecting it. Shmuel Omar, no. So noisetam by noisetamu, not by not. It's not direct. It's not directly. What happens is the meat went into the plate. Then from the plate it went to the fish. So it wasn't the meat directly touched the fish. It was indirectly. That's called noisetam by noisetam. Says the Gemara, yeah. Right. Says the Gemara, what Rav said is not a firush. The Rav, we're learning from a case of Rav, from story of Rav. The Rav ikla lebeir Shimon bar Chiyah. He came to the house of Shimon bar Chiyah by his grandson, Chosh be'enov. He had pain in his eyes. Of delay, shaifo betzol. So they made for him something called shaifo. Shaifo is some kind of use some medicine, some creams to make him something in betzol in a cure. Then they went and they put something else into it. They cooked it. So in other words, they used a dish to make medicine. Later, they took it out, and then they used a dish to put food into it. So then, Rav went and ate it. When he ate the food, he said, I taste here the medicine. Whoa! The medicine went into the plate. The medicine's not here anymore. Then from the plate, it went into the food. You see that it goes from one to another. It gives time so much. So you see that what? You see that noisetam gives by noisetam transfers. Says the Gemara, Shani also the nofish marirot fei. There it's different because there is very bitter, so the taste remains a lot. But for meat, regular meat into a plate with the milk, maybe not. Says the Gemara, it was a friend of Shmuel. I saw the brought that case of the fish that was in a dish of meat, in a meat dish, not in with meat. Only the dish was meat. Because he ate it with milk. So we gave it to eat, and he wanted to eat it. So I gave it to your Rebbe, meaning Rav, and he ate it. You're not going to eat it? Also, the Rav. So he went to her and said, Rav, did you change your mind? We remember that you said that Noisetam is also. Amalei chasle zerab de'abo ba'abo de'liso lemidi ve'loi svirili. Meaning it's wrong. You never feed me when you're speaking to Shmuel. It's called Abba Ba'Abba. Rashi says is the father of Shmuel. They feed me something I don't hold. In other words, I disagree. I hold. You can't eat it. Not banana also. And the story never happened. You're mistaken. The story never happened. Says the Gemara, Rav Huna ve'Rav Chia bar Ashi. Havu Yasvi, they were sitting. Chad b'ay gis of the Maver, the sur ve'achad b'ay gis the Maver. In both sides of the river. One of them, they gave him fish that was in a meat dish. Of course, he ate with milk. Now the other one gave him fruits. In the middle of the meal, he didn't do a bracha on the fruits. Yes, it means an orphaned. Your Rebbe does that. I mean, you don't have a Rebbe? Did your Rebbe allow you to do nabarnat? Meaning, it's wrong for you to eat fruits without a bracha in the middle of the meal, because the fruit's not part of the meal. When Masechus bracha, to give it its own bracha. I hold like Shmuel that not barnat is fine. The Tanya of Chio pass preteres kol mini meichel. The iron part of the kol mini mashkin that he holds that anything that comes in the meal is including the bracha of the meat of the bread. Anything that comes in all the drinks, including the bracha of the wine. One more chizkum shabai. Hilchasod halacha is dogim sholu bikaro mutar loichlom b'cholav. You have the fish not by nat is mutar. Snoy shechotcha b'sakin. If I cut a radish with a knife, shechotcha b'basar also lechol b'koisach. I'm not allowed to eat it with milk. The ani milit snoy. That's like a snoy. Why the could be based with aleph? Because it's so bitter, it swallows. It's sharp. For kishus, you just take away a little bit of the piece that touched. You just take it out and you can eat it. If I have pieces of lefes, which is not sharp, shari. Tesilka, which is sharp, asiri. If you mix up the lefes with the silk, which is sharp, then it mixes up together, so they cancel each other. Now, Rashi says, look at Losho Rashi. The Rashi in Kufi Beis with Aleph in the third line. Hilka, therefore says Rashi. Fish that was in a meat dish, you like the koisach. So not by not. The stam ke'orva mekachino is mishum lakorsha because you clean it anyway. Mishum use. Aval esakin pe'om shashamnun is korshaleo ve'einu nikor. So Rashi says, what's the problem with the knife? The knife, sometimes you have in it a little bit fat. That's shot number one. What do you have an issue with a knife cutting radish? Another reason is because it's very sharp. So here we have two reasons brought down Allah. One is that the knife is not as clean, and the other one is even if the knife clean, it's not so clean. The other thing is that the knife, because it's sharp, I mean the knife itself has it's a sharp knife, and you put it into sharp food, so that pulls out the taste of the knife. This isn't going to get very much to, we use it today for onions. We say if you cut with a knife onions, even though usually we have a din of noisetam livgan, meaning after 24 hours, they don't have a problem, the meat is gone. But if you're cutting onions with it, the onion reopens, is me'oyer the taste, which we'll see a little bit more about it later. And this is what we have over here as well, the gabe, the koisach. The gabe dogim shalom b'kaharo. We have a big machlek Shulchan Aruch in the Ramah. What do we pass in not barnat? The Shulchan Aruch says that not barnat is mutter. In the Ramah, we don't say not barnat only if it's a 3 times not barnat. Why 3 times? So the nice 3 times is also here by us, because when you have meat, the meat goes into the plate. That's one nat. Nat means no setam. Gives taste. Then the plate gives in to the fish. That's no setam, no setam. There's no problem over here, because the fish is not milk. Then it goes from the fish into the milk. So it's noisetam, ba noisetam, ba noisetam. It's a 3-stage process. Says the Ramah, that's the only time I say it's fine. But if I'm having something which is direct, meaning if I put meat into a plate, then I took out the meat, I put the milk into the plate. After that's not by not. And but that'll be a problem according to Ramah, at least that's going to be Allah. Now we're nugya with these things very much. Legabe, food that was cooked with when you have something you're cooking in a fleshik oven. Do you have an issue to eat it with milk? Right? So if I had a fleshik oven that was used the last 24 hours, so I'm saying that the milk, of course, the milk touch it, not touch it, but let's say talk about something that's touching something where the meat was. So you have over here not by not. So the not by not, can I go afterwards and put it into milk? So if you hold not by not is okay, so here you'd be okay. It's like dog shalom bakar. That's a classic case of dog shalom bakar. This is something in Yanim Hanugim Lamaise every single day in a regular kitchen. I want to add chips that I cooked into oven and I put it into a flesh oven. Can I use it with milk? I put my challah into a milk oven. I want to use it on Shabbos on the table. That's all goes back to the Yanim, not by not. That's all this is the not by not. I will assume that it's probably the most negel lemaise halachas that we have in a modern kitchen, because most of the chalav we have less. You have a drop of milk that fell to the chulin. It doesn't happen normally. Why not? Because you have a milk flesh thing.
Mistakes happen.
It happens. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. But now by now it's the whole time. That's like you're using the kitchen that way. So this is the sugi over here, which makes Hashem. I think we'll have more of it as we go forward. Not count for today.